and wide toes are touching. Forehead down to the mat. If you notice that starts to not feel so comfortable, you can put a blanket under there or a block under your forehead. Start to notice the breath. Close your eyes. Let the body be heavy. Becoming more mindful of your breathing, of the breath. Noticing the sensation of breath as it comes in through the nose and out through the nose. Noticing how the body contracts and expands with each breath. Selecting a spot where you can keep your attention on your breath, if it's that subtle sensation of breath coming in and out through the nose, or if it's the movement of the body, or the sound your breath makes as it goes in and out. Find the spot you can hold your attention. Connection with the breath, making that your anchor. And start to sit back a little bit and watch the chatter of the mind. And keeping that calm, steady breath. Kind of welcoming in whatever comes in. Letting it pass. Becoming aware of what's on the movie reel, right? What is on the loop that comes in and out. Becoming aware of a pattern, right? A repeated pattern, something that keeps coming into the mind's eye. Starting to become aware of everything about this object, this thought. Sensation it creates in the body, emotion, all the nuances, maybe we make this the object of our practice this evening, the object of our meditation, trying to hold this thought or emotion in our mind's eye through practice. couple more breaths. And keeping that connection, that anchor with your breath. And just gentle awareness inside. From here, let's inhale, look up. We're going to come to tabletop. So walking the hands in, knees come back together. From our tabletop position, walking the hands out, melting the heart down, puppy pose. Right, hips stay right above your knees. Inhale, look up. Exhale, walking the hands back in. We're going to curl the toes underneath of us, pull the belly button in and hover the knees off the mat. Staying here, press the floor right, belly button pulled in. Keep control of the breath, right? In through the nose, out through the nose. Right, big breath in. Long, slow exhale out. Again, big breath in. On your exhale, step the right foot back, left foot back. We're in plank. We're going to come down nice and slow to the belly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Untuck your toes. We're going to zip the legs up. One tight cobra tail. Elbows in tight. Rest your chin on the mat. Inhale, peeling chest up, cobra pose. Elbows in tight, pressing tops of feet into the mat. Right, exhale, release nice and slow. Put your left ear on the floor, arms down by your side. Right, let your body go heavy here for a moment. Inhale, coming back around. This time, arms going to come out in front of you, palms down, chin stays on the mat, squeezing legs together. Right? We're warming up the spine. Inhale, lift arms and legs up. Right? Take your gaze, try to lift it. Just keep squeezing legs together. And exhale, release. Right ear on the mat, look to the left. Let your body be heavy, relax your legs. Inhaling, coming back around. You're going to bring your hands underneath of your shoulders. Right, we're going to be moving from a plank back to up dog, right? So if you need to take your plank on your knees, you're going to keep the toes untucked. You're going to press all the way back up to plank. You're going to tuck the toes under. Gaze is ahead of you. All right, let's take an inhale. On your exhale, press the mat away. All right, breath in. Exhale, halfway down, chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog. And exhaling, down facing dog. Right, pedal the feet here. Settle into stillness. Melt your heart back towards your thighs. We're going to start to shift some weight into the left hand. We're going to take a down dog twist. Right hand to left ankle. Look underneath your left armpit. Right, noticing where you're feeling this stretch in this. Right, I'm feeling it all down the back of my left leg. But maybe you're feeling it someplace different. Right, just notice that sensation. Your next exhale, release the right hand down. Let's go the other way, right? So we'll shift the weight into the right hand, grip the mat. Left hand reaches for right ankle. Look under right armpit. Notice again, where do you feel sensation in this pose? And inhale, bring the hand back down, settling into down dog. Vinyasa ladder from here. Inhale, rock forward, high plank. In your high plank, press the mat away. Get that cat-like sensation in the upper back, belly button pulled in, heels tucking behind you. Exhale, press back, down dog. Inhale, rock forward, back to plank. Exhale, halfway down chaturanga. Lead with your chin in your chest, and then press back up, plank. Exhale, back, down facing dog. Inhale, rock forward, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Keeping the toes right where they are, rock the hips forward, floating up dog. Right? Press into your fingertips, come back down, chaturanga. Back to plank. Back to down dog. Inhale, rocking forward, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Now untuck the toes, inhale, up dog. Exhale, press back, down facing dog. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, knees bend. We're going to step, jump, or walk to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, coming all the way up to standing. Arms down by your side, Tadasana. So at the top of the mat, preparing for sun salutation, a variation. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, looking up halfway, plant the hands, step, jump, or walk back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down facing dog. Breath. Our gaze is in towards the belly button. A reminder to check in. We're going back to our practice at the beginning of the class. Looking within, connecting with breath. And maybe studying that thought or object that came up for us in the opening meditation. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, bend into the knees. Step, jump, or walk, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Okay, palms touch. And arms down by your side. Sun salutation be with our warrior variation. You're going to inhale, bend the knees, get nice and low into chair. Belly button's pulled in, tailbone tucked. Try to take the shoulders away from the ears. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bring belly to thighs and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, gaze up. Hands are going to plant. Exhale, step, jump, or walk back to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down facing dog. Taking the right foot, we're going to step it up right away. Spin the back heel down. Inhale, rise, warrior two.
bend in the front leg. Bring your left arm behind you. We're going to reverse the warrior. Flip the front palm and tilt. Right front leg stays bent. Exhale, extended side angle. Sunsetting, left arm around, forearm to thigh. One more time from here. Go back to reverse your warrior. Inhale all the way up, tilt. Exhale all the way back down, runner's lunge. Step back to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down facing dog. Left leg lifts and stepping it through to the top of your mat. Spin the back heel down, rise, warrior two. Keeping the bend in the front leg, right arm comes behind you, flip the front palm, tilt, reverse your warrior. Left leg stays bent. Next, exhale, extended side angle, forearm to thigh, sunset right arm around. Going back to reversing your warrior. Inhale all the way up, arm behind you, tilt. And exhale, back down, runner's lunge. Step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, chin away from chest. Inhale, up dog, shoulders away from ears. Exhale, press back, hips rise high, down dog. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, knees bend. Step, jump, or walk, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, back to chair pose. Hips sinking nice and low. Pull your belly button in. See if you can pick your toes up. Stay with your breath. Inhale, rise, Tadasana. Pausing here for a moment. Heels grounding down into the mat, right belly button down, grounding down, belly button up, lifting up. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, looking up halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, gazing up, hands plant, step, jump, or walk back to plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog. And exhaling, down facing dog. Right leg lifts nice and high. Bring the heel into the glute and then open up your hip. Right hip stacking on top of left. Then melt your heart back towards your thigh. Inhale, straightening out the leg. Exhale, step and place a throw. Rising crescent lunge. Inhale, reach up, and then exhale, turn and twist, right? Turning towards the right, belly coming into inner thigh, right? Our twisted lunge. Right? looking down for your right fingertips. Next, inhale, arms come back up overhead. Exhale, airplane arm variation. Inhale. Exhale, place the left hand down, easy twist, right fingertips round. Next, exhale, right hand inside of right foot, heel toe right foot to the edge of the mat. Back knee comes down, we're preparing lizard pose. It can stay up here on the hands, you could come down to forearms. Right toes either pointing to the top edge of your mat or let the inside of your foot peel away, whatever feels better. All right, we're gonna settle here for 8 breaths. This is a good time in the practice when we bring some stillness in to redirect our focus inward. First anchoring to the breath. And then again, just gentle awareness of the patterns of our thinking without becoming too wrapped up in the drama. Right? Just noticing what's on the reel. If that same thing, that same pattern keeps coming into focus, we can really direct our attention to it. Noticing where that thought pattern, where that object shows up in feeling in our body, in our physical body. Happiness or sadness, and noticing what that does for you. And take this time to become aware and practice learning more about ourselves, what drives us, right? When we're not paying attention. Starting to make our way up onto the hands. And we're going to curl the back toes under. We're going to take Skandasana towards the back of the mat. So coming up on the toe, we're going to start to pivot and turn, bend into the left knee. Right heel plants down to the mat, right toes to the ceiling. Nice. Right, hands can come to prayer. We can take the bind here if that's available. We've got the bind. We want to start working chest and gaze towards the ceiling. We have the bind. Start to release it. 2 options here. We'd use our hands to walk up the mat or try to keep the hands lifted, stay low. We're going back to runner's lunge. From runner's lunge, it's an optional vinyasa flow, so you could step back to down dog or take a flow, stepping back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhaling, down facing dog. Inhale, lifting left leg up, heel comes into glute, opening up the hip. Right, stacking left hip on top of right. We're gonna melt the heart in towards the belly. Inhale, straightening the leg. Exhale, step and place it through. Rising crescent lunge. Taking our crescent twist. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, start to turn and look over left shoulder. Squeeze legs together. Inhale, coming back to crescent, both arms overhead, and then exhale, leaning forward, airplane arm variation on Janiyasana. Inhale. Exhale, plant right hand down, lift left fingertips up, easy twist. Pulling the left hip back, press into right hand, reach up with the left fingertips. Take an inhale here. And on your exhale, left hand comes down inside of left foot, preparing for lizard pose now on the left. Staying on hands, coming down to forearms. Checking in with your left foot, so left toes are pointed to the top of the mat or peeling the inside edge of the foot open. Settling here for 8 breaths. Reconnecting in, anchoring to the breath. Goes on in the inside, right? Taking time to just pay attention. Starting to make your way up onto your hands. And our next transition is to Skandasana. We're going to curl the back toes under and then start to shift the weight to the back of your mat, bending into right knee. Left heel comes down, left toes to the ceiling. Hands come in prayer. If you want to try to take the bind on this side, wrapping the arms around, trying to catch for the wrist. Bind, chest and gaze to the ceiling. Releasing the bind if you have that. Options are to use your hands to come to the top of the mat or keep the hands up, stay nice and low. Runner's lunge. Optional vinyasa flow from here. Stepping back to plank or to down dog, taking your flow. Let the head hang heavy, then allowing the gaze to come in towards the belly button. Inhale, lifting right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, right? Trying to touch the knee and the nose together, and then you're gonna place the right foot right under the chest. Back heel spins down, hands to hips, peel up. Right, preparing for pyramid pose here, so the feet are about 3 feet apart. Right, you're gonna bring your arms behind you, grabbing for opposite elbows or wrists, or maybe even taking reverse prayer. You're gonna keep your chin away from the chest. Before we move, squeeze the legs together. Take an inhale, get tall. On your exhale, fold. Right, keeping chin away from chest, flat back. Right, when we get parallel with the mat, start to look straight down. right? About 2 inches above the big right toe. And now you're going to aim your chin towards your shin, keeping the back flat. So if you feel the back start to round, I want you to stop. And this is chin to shin with a flat back. Keep squeezing the legs together and now pressing into the ball of the right foot, kind of like it was the gas pedal. Right, steady breath. Right, finding your edge, right, where you find the stretch without going over, no pain. And from here, we're going to inhale, come back up. And then release the grip. Revolve triangle from here. You're going to take your right hand and put it in your back pocket. Inhale, left arm comes up. Right, starts with a flat back, right? So again, we're going to hinge chin away from chest. Right, and then we want to take this left hand. It's going to come to the thigh, your shin on top of your foot. Right? Or take left hand all the way to the floor on the outside of the right foot. Right? Fingertips and toes line up. Want to start to stack right shoulder on top of left. Right? You can keep this hand on the hip, right? Working on balance first. Legs are squeezed together, feeling like you're trying to rip the mat apart between your feet. Right? When you feel kind of balanced here, a little bit more stable, right fingertips rise, starting to look up the right fingertips. Revolve triangle. Exhale nice and slow. We're going to come back down. Framing out the front foot. Right? Lean the weight forward. Lift the left leg up. Standing split. Inhale here. On your exhale, nice and slow, let the left leg come down. We're meeting in runner's lunge. Optional vinyasa flow. Same thing, other side. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. Now place the left foot right under your chest. Back heel spins down. Hands to hips. Peel the chest up. All right, feet are about 3 feet apart. Squeeze the legs together so that the hips are squared. Arms come behind you. Opposite elbows, forearms, or reverse prayer. Chin away from chest. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Right, flat back. When you get halfway, look down, right? We're looking right above the big left toe. Squeezing legs together again. Aim your chin towards your shin. When the back starts to round, you want to stop. Right? Trying to keep the back straight. Keep squeezing legs together. Inhale, rise. Releasing the bind behind our back. Now left hand goes to back pocket. Right hand rises, right arm rises. Legs are squeezed together, revolved triangle. Inhale, reaching up through fingertips, and exhale, start to hinge. Right, when we get about halfway, then we're going to side. Right hand to thigh, shin on top of your foot, or this right hand gets to the outside of the left. Right, fingertips and toes lining up. Then starting to work on left shoulder, stacking on top of right. Squeeze legs together, and then like you're ripping the mat apart between your feet. That kind of locks you in. Right, we can stay here or start working on the gaze, looking up towards the ceiling, and when we feel stable, left arm rises. Exhale nice and slow. Framing out the front foot, shifting weight forward, standing split. Take an inhale. Nice and slow on your exhale, let the right foot float down. Meeting in runner's lunge. Optional vinyasa flow. Can always step back to down dog. Otherwise, it's a chaturanga, elbows in tight. Inhale, up dog, hips come to wrists. And then exhale, lift the hips high, down facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale, knee to nose. Now we're going to take pigeon pose from here. So send your right knee to your right wrist, ankle to left. Okay, taking your time. So we're up on hands to start. You want to square your hips. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward. Right? It's okay to stay here. Over time, maybe starting to walk down to forearms. Again, check in with your hips here. Rock the left hip down, right? Keeping the hips squared. And then eventually making our way to sleeping pigeon, forehead down to the mat. We settle into whatever variation of pigeon is going to be our practice this evening. We're using our exhales at first just to release tension. Right? Inhaling, filling the lungs, and then the exhales just kind of letting go, letting gravity do the work. And then there's a stillness that we come to, an acceptance of the variation we're in. And we go back about the practice of this self-exploration, self-inquiry, which is really simply just paying attention to how we think, the thoughts that we think, the way we speak to ourselves. There's a matter of factness about this, right? Just a yearning to know what is. Why we do the things we do. Why we feel the way we feel. It starts by just paying attention to how we think. We talk to ourselves. We're going to come up on the hands. We're going to take a little bit more variation on pigeon. We're going to twist it a bit. So when you're up on your hands, you're going to take your left hand, if you can, thread it underneath the right to bring your left shoulder down to the mat. Now maybe you just get your forearm to start, but eventually left shoulder all the way down to the mat, right? Head on the floor. Take your right hand and reach it behind you. See if you can find the foot on the floor, right? And again, it's progressive. Maybe your hand's on your hip, but eventually trying to find the big toe of the foot that you're lying on, your right foot. Taking a twist in our pigeon. And then releasing the toe if you have it. We're going to unwind. Right, bring all the weight over to your right hip and swing this left leg around. Double pigeon. So you're going to flex both feet. Right, both feet are flexed. Your right ankle is going to go, or your left ankle is going to go a little bit past your left knee. Right, and we're trying to line up our legs like two fire logs. That's another name for this pose, fire log pose. Now, if you have a lot of room in between the foot and the knee, a block or a blanket can go there. Right? Otherwise, we're just kind of effort in a direction. Over time, things start to open up. if you have the type of anatomy that right away this closes, maybe you consider taking an inhale, lifting up nice and tall, and then in your exhale, starting to lean some weight forward if that feels good, right? Feeling some tension in the hips maybe, but not pain, right? So just trying to find kind of the edge without going over of whatever this posture is like for you. Maybe roll out the neck here a little bit. Couple more breaths. And from here, we're going to move into cow face pose. So you're going to take your top leg and slide it on top till your knees come one on top of the other, right? So your right foot is now next to your left hip, and your left foot's next to your right hip, and one knee is on top of the other. That's why it's called cow face pose. That's supposed to look like a cow's face. Okay. Options with your hands. Hands at heart center, hands to forehead. There's also a bind here that you could take. Right arm lifts up, left arm comes behind you, and we try to grab for fingertips behind our back. A little bit of a shoulder stretch. And then another option, if you have the bind from here, would be to fold forward, right? Inhale, get tall, and then exhale, folding forward. And from here, inhale, sitting back up. I'm going to release this bind. Both hands are going to come over to the right side of your body, and you're going to take this left leg behind you again. Hands in front of you, back toes curl under, lift up to down dog. Right, and that sets us up to go into the left side. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, knee to nose, right? Knee and nose touch. And then you're going to take your left knee, send it towards the left wrist, ankle towards right. Pigeon pose. All right, taking your time, checking in with this square of the hips. Left hip forward, right hip back. And remembering we have lots of breaths here to work with. Right? We're not just rushing in and out here, so we have some time to allow the body to melt open a bit. Right? And choosing to maybe come down to forearms or stay on hands. Not simply just moving to this pose, but feeling it. Right? When you're laying down, rock the right hip down. See how that changes the sensation in the outer edge of the left hip. Right, and then we go all the way maybe to sleeping pigeon if that's available in your practice now. These next couple exhales, surrender. Let the body be heavy, let gravity come in and help you with this work. And keep your attention on the breath pattern. Now simply watching the mind. Pressing through the right hip. And starting to walk back onto your hands. We're going to take that twisted version of pigeon. Right, so left hand stays planted. The right hand's going to thread under the left arm, right? Coming to forearm or maybe taking the right shoulder all the way down. Left arm comes behind the back trying to find the left big toe. Settle into your breath again. Here for just a couple more. Starting to unwind, right? Releasing that big toe hold, coming back up on the hands, all the way over to the left hip, swinging right leg around. Setting up for 90-90 or fire log pose. Flexing both feet, right? That's gonna help protect our knees. The right ankle now is a little bit past left knee lining up with right ankle. Noticing, right, if there's that gap, adding a blanket or a block there. If you've got, them pretty good on top of one another, we can add some weight forward. So an inhale to get tall, and then an exhale leaning some body weight forward. Right, that adds a little more tension to the pose. Inhale, come up, moving into Gomukasana, cow face pose. So we're gonna slide the knees together, right? So they stack one on top of the other. Top foot's going back towards the left hip, bottom foot towards the right hip, right? We can sit up nice and tall. Again, lots of options with the hands. Hands to heart center, to third eye. We can try for the bind on this side as well. Left arm up, comes behind the back, right? Trying to find the fingertips behind us. You may notice it's a lot different on this side than it was on the other. This is my tougher side. Right, and you could choose to stay up here sitting nice and tall or start to lean forward. Again, noticing it might be different on this side. The shoulders might go a little bit different. This is definitely a tighter side for me. The bind if we have the bind. Take both hands, put them to the outside of the left hip. We're going to unwind the top leg to come right behind us again so that we're back in pigeon. Right away, curling the back toes under, lifting up to down dog. Taking a moment, pedal out the legs. Our final down dog of the practice. Let's take 3 breaths here. Feet go as wide as your mat. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, bend into knees. We're going to jump or walk the feet to the outside of the hands for Malasana. Yogi prayer squat. Hands come to heart center, elbows into inner thighs. You have the option here to take an arm balance before we come down to our backs. So if you wanted to take crane or crow or shoulder pressing pose. Looking for an intro arm balance, right? Hands come right underneath of the shoulders, tries to inner thighs, Budokan crow. Chin stays away from chest, leaning the weight forward into the fingertips till the toes float off the floor. And we'll meet back here in Yogi prayer squat. Going to come onto our backs from here. So you have the option to bring your hands behind to help, or we're going to try to create a counterbalance here. Fingertips reaching ahead of you. Keep reaching, pull your belly button back, guiding your bottom to the floor. Legs come out in front. Nice. Right, and we're going to scoot the glutes back a little bit, get off the fleshy parts. Flex the toes back towards the face. Pashimo, Tanasana, posterior stretch. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold. This time we're going to add some tension, right? So we want to find the ankles or the outside edges of the feet or the big toes to hold on to. Once we have our grip, inhale, looking up. Exhale, pull, right? Adding tension. Try to keep the chin away from your body. Think flat back here. Shoulders away from ears. And to help us find a little bit more depth in this posture, fire up your quads. Pull the belly button in, maybe even engaging pelvic floor. From here, inhaling, looking up halfway. Exhale, we're going to release the posture. Bringing fingertips out in front of us. Now we're going to come down to the back. So belly button's pulled in, chin's in, and I want you to think about putting one vertebra at a time on the floor. So we're using a lot of core here to try to go slow. Coming to lie down on our back. From here, inhaling both knees into center, right? And exhaling both knees to the right. Right, as your knees go to the right, take your gaze to the left. Supta Matsi Andrasana, spine twist. Let the belly be nice and soft. Try to relax your shoulders down. They melt down into the floor. Inhaling, bringing the knees back through center. And then exhaling, bringing the knees over to the left. Gaze to the right. Yeah, nice soft belly. Shoulders melting down into knees back through center, moving into happy baby. So you can catch the outside edges of the feet, right, or behind the knees. We're gonna pull on the feet if we have the feet, pull on the feet, and then press the feet into the hands. Right, and if you have the back of the knees, pulling knees towards armpits. Chin is tucked, right, trying to get the whole spine to lie nice and flat on the mat. Inhale, bringing knees into center. We're going to give yourself a hug. Wrap your arms around your shins, forehead to knee. Taking in a deep inhale here. And then exhaling, final Savasana. We want to take up space. Okay, arms come away from the body, palms are facing up. Chin's tucked just slightly so the back of the neck lengthens on the mat. Legs are heavy, eyes are closed. Letting go of our external surroundings, the physical body. Letting go of the breath, just letting the breath do whatever it will. only to learn about our physical body, but to learn about ourselves internally, the whys of what we do, of how we think. And these are the things that drive us subconsciously, that very often we move through the world without awareness. Now we'll take this time just to look, no judgment, nothing to do. Bit of movement back to the body. Wiggling the fingers, toes. Maybe gently rocking the head from the left to the right. Starting to bridge the internal to the external. Amazing if you can keep that connection. Up overhead, big stretch. And then exhaling, bringing everything back to center. You're going to gently tip over onto the right side in the fetal position. Right hand cradles your face, left hand on the floor. Just a moment to reintegrate here, a moment of reflection. That I like to pause and remind myself there are things that I can leave right here well as there's some things maybe I need to take with. Or in a new perspective maybe that I've gained, or just that sense of calm and peace that seems to naturally come from practice. Let's press into the hand and we'll come up to a seated position. Hands at heart center. And thank you for coming out to practice with me. The light in me honors and sees the light in you. Namaste.